What is up, my Ark survivors? This is Alcarin, bringing you another episode, and I'm going to bring it to you solo. I wanted to give you guys a status update on the base building and all the dinos I've tamed, and I also wanted to address some of the base building that I'm seeing on our server. It amazes me, you know, in the title, I'm bringing it up right now, we're playing mod name Primitive Plus. This means no high-tech stuff. It's an Alcarins primitive 24/7 PvP wipe 6.10.16. We've recently enabled admin command logging, which is awesome. So whenever an admin puts in a command, everybody can see it. It's great because with LOD, the LOD raid, there's a lot of claims of cheating, and in the video, I went through and made sure we disabled all admin. We brought in legit dinosaurs. All the tribes legit raided them. And we ended up beating them, you know, head to head. It was 3 tribes versus 1. We expected to win, and we did. They claimed cheating, and it's hard because when, as an admin, you don't go out of your way to raid other people. You shouldn't. But when they come to your base and they raid you head on, you have the right, in my opinion, to defend yourself, and you also have the right to retaliate. And I tell that to everybody. I'm like, hey, if you attack me and I know it's you, or I see it in the tribe log, I'm going to come after you and do my best to try to take you guys out. And that's just the way it is. And also, there's tribe alliances. It says it right in the MOTD. Hey, you know, you're free to offline raid, but if you offline raid, just expect player retaliation. It's going to happen, you know? And that's just something you got to consider, right, before you take that step, right? Also, on the defensive, when you're building on a PvP server, aesthetics are nice, and I really love pretty looking bases. But for PvP, you've got to build strong, you know? And I wanted to show that to people, like how you build strong to keep yourself from getting toppled over. And I get it. You're starting out at level 1. You haven't quite got the tech, you know, but you can get stone pretty quick, you know? Or if you can't build stone, build planks of wood and work your way up, and then, you know, base relocate or replace it all with stone when you do get it. Or just build it all up and put it all in the bins and then save up materials until you can throw the base up all at once. That's another option. So I just wanted to go around before we start looking at other bases and just show you what has changed here, right? And tell me what you think. So we're going in. Now it's a little different than what it was. I only had a double door, and now it's triple, right? And the outer door, I've noticed on Primitive Plus, there's a brick behemoth dino gate, which I was super excited about. I went through and I built it, and I pictured something along the sides of, hey, behemoth, this size. This is what I wanted to replace the frame with brick, right? But going back, you know, I craft it, I get all the brick made, I get all the cement made, I craft it, and I come out with something this size. So that's a little misleading. Either the A, they need to add in the proper size, or B, change the name, or add both for C. I think that would be really important. But regardless, I've gotten a triple doorway up, which is really important on Primitive, just for the fact that the doors are your weakest point, because the best door you have is, right here, is reinforced dino gate would be the highest, and the behemoth gates and the regular doors, the reinforced doors, and I'll show you that as we go through, which isn't that strong. I mean, it doesn't take too many ballista shots to break it through. We've got organic turrets up. We've redone, when I say we, I mean me, right? I've done, all these forges are redone. We went through and I put these trophy bases in. What's really cool about it is, and one of my tribe mates, Coop, basically made the point of, hey, you know, you don't need to use torches to light your base. If you go grab these trophies from the various caves and build the trophy bases, it's just obsidian, it's not hard to get. You have permanent light source. You don't have to keep putting wood in there, burning up all your oil, and you know what? He's right. It might not provide as much light as a torch. It may provide it just as much, or it might provide more. Leave a comment in the down there and tell me what you think, but when it comes down to it, you can just add as many as you want, and you'll have light, which is really cool. Other aspects of the primitive mod that other people may not realize is, hey, this is a key item preserving campfire. I know it only holds 20 slots, and basically you use organic oil in it, which is cooked fat, right? And you throw that in there with spark powder, and it'll make jerky for you, and it doubles as a trough. Yeah, you have to make 2 to 3 times more of them to cover as a trough, but not only does it act as a trough, it also preserves the meat and it lasts longer. Because, keep in mind, on Primitive, we don't have fancy refrigerators. The best we have is this, right over here, which is really cool looking, the preserving shed, which is spark powder powered, and and you store your eggs in here, your meat in here, you create jerky in here, and it's pretty cool. We've bred turtles and level capped them. If you haven't seen our level cap video, we level capped a Ketz in 27-ish minutes. Amazing. So your mileage may vary on other servers. Just keep in mind, because this is I think 10x experience rate. So you might go a little slower, but you can make up for it with experience potions or Lystos if you wanna make that work. Yeah, these are war turtles, just for bullet soaking organics, because organic turrets are the only sort of turret defense in Primitive. We don't have metal turrets. We don't have generators. We don't have any sort of electricity. So that changes things. I've worked very hard over the last week or so to put up these defenses. And I know, like, you're probably thinking in your mind, well, Alcarin, why would you even bother to put up these spikes? And I'm going to tell you, on our server, Pteranodons, they get so powerful to the point where they can come in 1, 2, 3 shot organic turrets, and they move so fast that they're most likely not even going to get hit. So that's something to consider when you're base building. So a solution to that is going through and putting metal spikes down within the organics. Now keep in mind, organics can't shoot through the spikes. The spikes act as actual walls. But what they can do is be right behind them and growing through them and shoot forward. They just can't shoot backwards. So I used concrete, which is one of the higher tier items to build with. If you look here, 40,000, and it's just easy to make concrete. In my opinion, it's just so easy to make it. I built this so we have them up high and down low. Since organics can now be bullet soaked, we don't leave them on high all targets anymore. I might leave 1 or 2 on high all targets just for the fact that, hey, it helps those wild dinosaurs from coming in your base and killing your dinos on passive. I get it, right? But other than that, it's not really needed. So when they come in and barrel roll on this, they're going to hit the spikes. They're going to take some damage. It's not going to kill them, but it's enough to take them out of the barrel roll and push them away from the spikes. And what that does is they have to get going again, and that's enough time for the organics to lay into them, slow them, stun them, blind the Pteranodon, and then usually the organics on this server will finish them off. So, and also projectile damage is boosted on this server just for that reason, so that way organics are actually effective. I think they do about 200 damage a shot on a saddleless wild dino, and the point of that is that these need to be effective defense. That's what it really has to come down to. I'm slowly building the crop plots. I'm slowly building and trying to flesh this out to make it so that way people can't easily break in. As you notice, looking at the hangar, it's completely bricked out at this point. So what that means is it's bricked out, and inside you can stack stone and then brick over it, so it's double layered, which is really nice. So that way when they have to break through, and keep in mind, brick is considered the equivalent of metal on Primitive Plus. Now the spikes here on the bottom are to keep people from, I don't know if you guys know this, when they run into your base, sometimes they'll try to LOS your turrets by basically hugging up against this wall. This keeps them from being able to hug up against the wall, and it also makes it so the turrets can reach them. Also, you want to try to reduce as many blind spots as you can by putting turrets on the other side. So I put them on the left here. I haven't put them on the right. So I plan on doing that, right? And eventually I plan on sealing this or redoing this pipe in metal and then sealing it in some sort of, brick and or stone or both casing, right? So that's something else I want to accomplish. Also, I've irrigated all of the turrets organics, right, up on top, and the purpose for that is, if you notice, the plate above it actually prevents the rain from touching it. So I figured I'd just irrigate it all and run a pipe all the way around. And I'm fortunate enough to build on the shore, which is not always tactfully the best option, but I just really like this location. I plan on building more of a vault-like location in a higher point, not in a temple or in a cave, because you take a damage bonus when you're inside a temple and or a cave. So moving through here, we've been breeding and we've got quite a bit more pteranodons, and we've gained a few more dinosaurs as we go along. But you can see this is the dino hangar, and it's all concrete, brick, and stone, which is it took us a long time to do. I've been working on this in server launch, piece by piece. And again, thank you so much for all the support, and just keep liking, subscribing, watching. And I was also thinking, this is an open server. You may not know, everybody's allowed to join and play. And I just want to see more people on. I want to see more people participating. I'd like to see more online rating and less offline rating, but it's really hard to police offline rating, you know. So the best you can do is, I don't like to make a rule that I can't enforce, you know. And so the best thing you do is check your tribe logs. If they raided you and you can see some sort of trace, then you know the tribes will come together and basically annihilate them. This is the breeding chamber. You may have seen it in a previous episode. I did light it up a little bit with this trophy, and I thought this is what I used. The problem is it's a little small. Like if you breed a Spino in here or something like that, you can get it in and out. It's nice to, when it hits about adolescence, moving on out, maybe have it on the outside at that point. I also wanted to show you a quick development. I've been building on this raft, and I'll do an episode on it later. But basically, it's cool. If you look down here, it's completely. I just teleported back. All right, so I'm moving forward. If you look on the bottom of this raft, you can see that it's completely encased in, concrete. Now, you might have seen this in another video on how to accomplish this. What's really nice about it is they can't just come up and pick at your raft. They have to pick through this concrete first, and then they can hit the raft. I don't need it to be mobile because it's just a greenhouse. And I've piped some water here from the ocean straight up through almost the middle. And the idea is that I want it to be eventually, I can make it mobile if I want to bust out some concrete. But if you open this door here, you can see you get all you need is the glass ceiling to get the 300% bonus. The pipe comes up through the middle and then irrigates all of the crops. And on Primitive Plus, you just have a ton of crop options. And we'll get more into that later. The cooking options are amazing, but this was desperately needed. I had to keep trading other tribes for crops, and I just needed to break down and build it. And I wanted to build it nice. I wanted to build it big, and I wanted to build it right. I didn't want to build a crappy little farm. The only bad part is hey, this is not that secure. Anybody can come along and bust through this ceiling. It only has about, I don't know, maybe 100 life, yeah. So anybody can break into here. It's not secure. They can steal my vegetables. They can wreck my crops. I think I'm going to put up organics eventually when the time comes. I'm not there yet. I build this piece by piece like anybody else. The water pipe right here, I'm going to show you for my Pteranodon. Let me get up there real quick. P-level beast is like 4th or 5th generation Pteranodon that I've been breeding. He is amazing. I've got an affinity bonus of 43%. If you look, he's not designed for PvP combat. He has 5,000 hit points, which is for PvP, to be honest. 4,128 amazing stamina to keep barrel rolling. He's got 400 weight, which if you've played on a Pteranodon, that's a lot of weight for a Pteranodon. Looking through, the melee damage is 6,438.2 and 301 move speed. This guy is mainly meant for P-leveling. Check out our P-level episode. It'll show you more details on that. But moving forward, if you look down here, you can see the water pipe comes down. I used to have it encased in spikes. The idea is to remove the spikes, then seal the top with ceiling tiles, but for whatever reason I can't get the ceiling tiles to snap. Hopefully they fixed it in the last patch. Maybe they didn't. I might have to put the spikes back in or redo it altogether. It's important to protect your water because the line runs all the way through the base, up the middle, through the top and out the top, and then it has the greenhouse effect, and it irrigates all the organics and the narco plants in the middle. Also, the organics are set in the organics on the top are set in a way that they can also get rain. So they have both ways of getting watered. I run organic turrets here, and occasionally I'll run water reservoirs. As you can see, in certain areas they just don't get rain, and then that's the case where I have to run those. The idea behind this is it keeps it open, so you're not LOSing. That's what I hate is when people build walls all around their base. It's cool for like a dino pen, but for your actual base, you don't want to let them choose where they poke a hole, right? And where they can blow a hole and then control where the shots are coming from. You want to make it so that way it's open, like with pillars, and so they can't LOS. And so they're getting hit from multiple angles. It just makes it more difficult for the attacker. Also, having organics way up high like this helps too, and it tries to. And I do my best to try to reduce blind spots on the top here. As you can see, I put metal spikes around the top, and first off, I removed the taming pen on top, replaced the ceiling with, and it took me about a week to do all this solo. Removed the whole top, replaced it all with concrete. I'll show you here in just a moment. If I can get the wing out of the way. Let's see. Right there. Concrete ceiling, 40,000. Replaced the whole top with concrete. I then first put down the crop plots. Then I put down the spikes. And then I planted the crops. And it makes it very difficult to actually put fertilizer back in those. But it's definitely worth it. The more difficult it is for me to get to the organic, it's even more difficult for the enemy. And I'm really, I know I have a lot more work to do, and there's a lot more ways that people can get in here. I know about bullet soaking with turtles, and I know about using artillery, but I can't think of too many ways of preventing that. But this will prevent somebody from lazily bringing a Pteranodon in and just plucking out your turrets. So I want to show you some examples of other people that have built, and why I think, and it just amazes me what people build. Like, do they come in, do they not read the tribe, what do you call it, the server title? Like, they built that little thing there. That probably was a full base that got destroyed. I'm not sure. I don't actively raid, I just retaliate. This is a beautiful little house, but it has no defense. And who's this tribe? Let's see. Muro di Piediera. I probably said that wrong. Beautiful little base, very nice, but it's on the ground. It's just, if you're going to be on a PvP server, you gotta build for PvP. If you want to build a pretty base, then obviously go PvE, and you can build your base however you want. Here's a better version. Look at this. This, I know it looks ugly, but if you look down, the German, I think this is the German engineers that built this. Yeah, German engineering. They went through and they built a functional PvP base. It's box shaped. Hopefully it's layered on the inside. Probably can't have too many layers. Hopefully each wall is layered, or at least double layered. They've got a wall around so their dinos can't be lured out. I'm not a big fan of that, but it's better than what we were seeing before. They got this little box down here. This is a good starter base. This is what we should be seeing. This right here, this is amazing. I don't see anything wrong with this. I mean, you can use it as a taming base. It's made out of stone. Whoever made this, what's the tribe name? La Hacienda Inde Gracia. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. I might be totally off. But anyhow, looking at it, it's well built. The only disadvantage is, hey, the roof. It needs to be double, triple layered, and hopefully it is on the inside. I'm not going to break in to find out. Moving forward at some of the other bases that were built, I'm just flying through. That right there that's a good starter base, but it's made out of wood. You got to finish that out of stone, man. And this is a 10x gather server. There's no reason to not have enough stone. That just looks like a taming base. I mean, the people come in and they start these big projects, right? And they just either quit the server or never finish them. This has been here for weeks, and we're probably going to have to remove it all because somebody just starts a project, doesn't finish it. I mean, this is not secure whatsoever. Other examples of other bases, if you look here, this is a good PvP base. It's simple. You can get this up in a day, no problem, if you work hard at it. There's one down here. This is also a good PvP base, right out here on the left. Look, they've got water, which is amazing. They've got a raft built inside. It can go in and out. They've got their little cube. This is a very, very good starter base. Within a day or two, you can accomplish something like this. So whoever built this, congratulations, you did an amazing job, in my opinion. Moving forward, across the way, other bases that are beautiful. They had the time, they had the effort, and they put it in. And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, why would you build such a beautiful base knowing that you're on a PvP server? Are you banking on the fact that, that they're just not going to come and wreck you? And I think the prettier your base is, the more apt they are to wreck you. This little wooden raft right here, this is not a good idea. It looks like it was already broken into. The front door is gone, or the front window wall's gone. Right here, another beautifully built base. You could easily go through and concrete pillar those stilts, and you should be putting pillars under every single tile if you do it, and ideally coating the outside with stone or brick or adobe or something. It looks like they are already raided. If you look at the top, it's busted in. Some other tribe already looted this place and left the dino up. I really wish they would implement some sort of in the tribe log, if your wall gets busted, if you can see who did it. I read in the patch notes that they're probably going to do something like that. Here's another little hut. These are starter huts. I get it. You got to start small, but I don't like to see bases that are here for weeks and that they just don't make progress. I really hope that we get more people on. I would like to see more tribe alliances. I'd like to see more raids, but online preferably, head-to-head raids. And I'd like to film those and bring them to you guys. If any tribes out there, any skilled Primitive Plus PvPers, if you think you have what it takes, this is a 5x wild dino damage server. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for newbies. You're going to get one shot. The dinosaurs are still very, very powerful, and they will wreck your face, just so you know. And I know that a lot of people say, oh, you know, Alcarin, you failed on taming that Moza. I'm like, yeah, I did. I'm playing primitive. I don't have scuba gear, meaning I don't have a tank. I have to stack O2. I have to stack chowder. I don't have any goggles, so I can't see anything underwater until it's too late. I don't have fins to stay ahead of a Moza. I don't have anything like that. And so basically a Moza can come up with base iron armor and probably one-shot you if you had 1,000 life. So it's tough to tame. You know, you don't want to get hit. You don't want to die and lose all your stuff or lose your nice crossbow. So this is a difficult server, and we did eventually tame one, but it took me 3 days to build a cage, you know, solo, and go through and do all this. So I hope you guys liked the video. Please like if you ended up liking it, hopefully, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace!